Two, three, bam. That's the sound of another Ultra Crude podcast. Do it, lady.
I did the damn thing.
Yeah, success. Hey, listen, this is the Ultra Crude podcast. My name is John. This is with me, as always, the fabulous, the wonderful, the amazing, the cruel, the Georgia Jewel 100-mile finisher. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. It's Becca Jones.
I feel like we should have like a little clap. Thanks for that wonderful introduction, my love.
How's it going, little Becca, buddy?
How's it going?
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Deep in recovery.
This is, hey, we're full recovery, and this is the recap episode from the Georgia Jewel 100, which Miss Jones ran this weekend. So we're going to get into it. We want to hear all about the Georgia Jewel 100.
Yeah, I don't know that I ran it, but
listen, for the purposes of this podcast, we are going to use the term run to describe all movement.
That's fair. Okay. I like that. Yeah, well, I mean, that is what we do in ultra running. It's more like
some people are running. There was running going on.
I didn't see it.
I saw some running. I ran.
I know you did.
You know, it was good. Nathan did the running. Nathan had it just, man. That's a bad man right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like he ran. It's awesome. I'm super proud of him. He had a great race, and he really put it together, and it was impressive.
Yeah.
It was impressive to finish strong and just kind of be in control of it. Super happy with him. Happy for him. Let's see. You know what? We went down Thursday afternoon, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Escape Nashville
Edition, Georgia Jewel. It's close enough we could leave Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
But the time change makes it a little...
Losing an hour driving down because you switch over to Eastern.
Yeah, we'd have to leave at like 7 a.m. and I don't think you want to do that.
No.
So we got down there. It took us an hour to get out of Nashville.
Sure did.
And then we lost some more time on the highway there. So it turned that 2.5 hour drive. And it was a long time. It took us a long time to get there.
Yeah, we didn't get there till after 9.
Yeah. About that. We had Chili's, though. Chili's was wonderful.
I usually like Chili's. It was fun.
Stayed at the hotel right next to the convention center.
Sure did. It's good. Those sheets are awesome. I really enjoyed that.
I like a cheap sheet.
I wasn't a cheap sheet. It was nice. So good.
I like
4 pillows. They didn't give you that 2 pillow shit.
I like a thick, cheap hotel sheet.
Oh, I like that thin shit.
Like a painting tarp. That's what I like.
Then they had like the soft fake down thing on it. It was great. I loved it.
I think you got different sheets than I did.
We like different types of sheets anyways.
We do.
You're like, just give me a quilt and a sheet and 1 pillow. I'm good. And you like 2 pillows. I want 4 pillows. I want everything fluffy. I want it to be like I don't know, like a fluff coat around me. I want to melt into it. You'll sleep like a corpse under your quilt and sheet. It's not an attack. It's factual.
You know, maybe we couldn't afford a lot of blankets growing up. Maybe we just grew up different. And we couldn't spare extra pillows and blankets around the house.
That's fine, but you're an adult now, and we have lots of pillows and blankets. I don't know if you looked around.
The abundance of pillows and blankets, which is funny because we were talking about cleaning out our storage unit. You had determined that it was all my stuff in there. And I think we quickly discovered that it was a lot of pillows were in storage.
There were a lot of pillows in storage.
There's like 30 pillows that are in storage.
Well, you know.
All right. Tell us about the Georgia Jewel. Well, let's get into it. Let's go.
Yeah, you were telling the story of how we got down there. What was happening?
You were not giving any color to the story I was telling. You're like, yep, we drove down to Georgia, and then we stayed at the hotel.
Well, you ate some cheeseburgers.
I ate cheeseburgers, and then we got up in the morning, and then I went to the race, and then I ran until I was done. All right, thanks everybody. We appreciate you following along this Georgia Jewel episode. That'll about do it for today. I think that's a record for this. I'll tell you what, I have abandoned hotel coffee in general. I will no longer drink hotel coffee. It always leaves me very disappointed, and I don't like doing it. So I got up and I went out to get coffee. Kitty's trying to jump up on the bed. She ain't gonna make it. And I pulled up a coffee shop, and it was a coffee shop inside of a church that was also a preschool. And I was like, oh no, I've made a grave mistake here. So then I had to go to Starbucks. And I should have known because it was Higher Grounds. That's a Christian. That's a church coffee shop name for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But Starbucks took 35 minutes.
Oh yeah, I was wondering what took you so long. I thought
just
you were going to come back with like breakfast for like a whole thing.
No, just sitting there waiting. Just sitting there waiting for them to make your frappa latte.
Is it because I wanted a caramel macchiato?
That was it. You wanted the caramel macchiato. It took 30 minutes to get the caramel macchiato. And I didn't understand. Like what is taking like, but you know, sometimes those things happen. But you got your breakfast sandwich.
I did.
You got your coffee in you.
Mm-hmm.
And then
sorry, we got a cat over there. Exploring things.
Cat situation. Then we got to the start line. But what did we find out Friday night or Thursday night when we got to the hotel?
Rainbow Sparkles is really getting in there. She's going to knock all of that down.
No, her name's Kitty.
But it's Rainbow Sparkles.
Would you like to talk about the weekend?
Yes.
So we got to Thursday night. We got to the hotel down in Dalton, Georgia, and popped the hatch. And what did you notice straight away?
That the shoes that I thought I brought, we didn't have. There was no box that had the shoes. I mean, luckily, I had a pair of sandals in there, but I had no shoes. You want to tell them how that conversation played out?
It was real simple. The look of surprise and anger and disappointment on Becca's face immediately. Did you not bring that black box? And I went, no, I didn't bring the black box. Because Thursday morning before I went to work, Miss Jones had yet to pack or sort anything. Nothing. Not a thing. And she didn't have time. She's very busy. Whatever. So I gathered the stuff that I knew she would need or we could use. And I got out the cooler and I got out the red box and I put everything in the red box. But I had pulled a auxiliary race storage tote out that had things in it and took things out of that. And I should have stowed it away again, but I did not. It was empty. It wasn't empty. It had a pair of shoes for me in it and a hat.
Yeah, but it still had other race stuff in the other two drawers / bat. Yes. Go open it. Go pop the fucking top. Ain't nothing
in there.
There's shit in there.
Not to the quantity of stuff that you were like, oh, we're going to bring this.
Anyways, so that black box was sitting by the cooler and had the red box that had the other stuff in it. So the red box sitting on top of the black box. I went, okay, these are the 3 boxes we're bringing.
This is not a 3-box situation.
I thought it was aggressive, but everything's there.
It's not a 3-box race.
Listen, you're way more organized than me and intentional and purposeful. And I felt like if you left that box there, there was a reason. So, and since there were shoes in the box, the bottom box, and I knew that you were pacing, I went, oh, okay, well, this is where he's probably going to put this. Maybe he didn't want more stuff just floating around the car since we're going to have pacers and people in and out of the car will make things a little crowded. So, all right, just put it all in here. Whatever. That's what I was saying. I was like, oh, that's a smart man.
Sounds like you're making a lot of assumptions.
Because it's also what you've done in the past.
And not communications. You're making assumptions and not communications.
You brought the box out of the room that it was stored in and then put it with the race stuff.
Because I had stuff in it that I need to get out of it and put with the race stuff.
Anyways.
Which I did. And you know what? I should have scooted the box back in the spare room in the studio here so that it didn't confuse you. But you went outside and put your shoes and your sandals in the box.
My shoes.
And I grabbed the cooler and the box that we were taking and we hit the road.
I got my shoes out of my truck and then put them in the box.
That's what you said.
Yeah. I didn't get them out of the car.
No, that would have been dumb. You had sandals in the car.
Yeah, but they were like those shit sandals. Like I've had those sandals for a long time. Like they were
at any rate.
Yeah.
At any rate, obviously the communication preparation was not great. But you know, I'm a problem solver. Like, listen, we had the crew pacers were coming down. I was like, hey, listen, I'm sure one of them would be more than happy to swing by the house and pick up your shoes. If not, I can go to Chattanooga in the morning and buy you a new pair of shoes. Not a problem. It's like we're 30 minutes from Chattanooga. Easy peasy. Race start isn't until noon. Like, I can get up and just beep boop, come on back. No problem. But Aaliyah was kind enough to swing by the house and grab them shoes for her. He said, no big deal. Like, no big deal.
Yeah, that's very sweet. Shoes. Starting a race with...
You weren't going to wear shoes anyway.
Well, when you say shoes, sandals. I mean, I threw a pair of shoes in there just in case, like real shoes, but...
So, they brought the shoes, and you were fine in your sandals.
Yeah, I was.
Even when the new sandals and the shoes got there, you continued to run in the sandals you had on.
Yeah.
For another 15 miles.
I'm a simpleton.
Like, you just kept on wearing them.
I was committed to them at that point.
All right. Well, it was warm at the race start. How'd it go for you?
Yeah, what was it, like 88 degrees or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think they said it was like 88, 90. I never even looked at the weather. I just knew it was going to be hot.
Yep. You did check the weather Just moments before the race started.
No, I tried pulling it up.
Oh, okay.
And I couldn't get it open. So I just went, it doesn't matter. I saw that it wasn't going to rain.
No.
That was more what I was looking for. But temperatures and all that I mentioned too. I just went, no rain? Cool. Yeah.
Well, walk us through it. It's 18 miles to Snake Creek, which is the first aid stop, which is where I would see you for the first time.
I'm going to say this.
Say it.
The start to Snake Creek and Snake Creek to the finish is the absolute worst fucking part of that course. It really, really is the hardest, most rocky, just, I don't know. It's my least favorite section. And especially power line to Stover. It is what, like 8.5 miles?
Or Stover to power line.
Yeah, whichever way you're going. It's like 8.5. Really, I think it's 9 miles for sure. It's got to be. And you cross multiple rock gardens, go over 2 or 3 mountains. And it just sucks. Like, you also go through there with the noon start, the hottest part of the course, the hardest part of the course. And we've talked about this. Their cutoffs are fair, but not generous.
Yeah, even just like the first cutoff power line, you think, it's 3.5 miles, you get an hour, which is fair, but sometimes you go, dang.
Yeah.
And I think 18 is 6. It's 6 p.m. is the cutoff.
Yeah, it's 6 hours.
So it's not a ton of time. It's fair, but you can't lollygag.
No, and
especially when it's hot.
And that's the thing with as hot as it is and as tough as that terrain is, like, if we were to go down the street and hopscotch or parkour for a fucking mile, you'd be like, it's a big energy expenditure. And that's essentially what you're doing over and over and over again out there through these rock gardens. So much energy. And it takes a toll for sure throughout that section. And it does make it slower. I mean, I hiked across most of those because I was like, I'm not hopscotching across this shit. Because after those sections, there's always a smooth section. So you get all this rocky stuff for a little bit, then it's nice and smooth. So why would I wear myself out running over these rocks and not be able to run the runny bits? That, to me, sound like dumb. Now, let's be honest. I really haven't done anything since I decided to not run your race. So I was vastly undertrained for this. I was under no illusion that this would be a lot of running and that I had to really be committed to the hike. There's going to be a lot of hiking. Running where I could. But
I'm just trying to figure out, you're saying I haven't really done anything since we decided we were going to Uray. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's the time frame where you really haven't done anything. Mm-hmm. I think it's probably a little before that.
Okay.
It's not been a training emphasis year for you.
No.
You've had other things going on.
Yeah.
Trying to paint a broader picture.
Yeah.
That you ran Cruel Jewel in the spring, and we'll just go ahead and say maybe you were undertrained for Cruel Jewel.
For running, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's kind of where we're at.
Anyways, I'm done with you. But yeah, so I knew this was going to be a rough race. I knew that regardless. And honestly, I was pretty hesitant to even ask anyone to help. I'd asked Tony, but they had something going on. And I'd kind of come to the conclusion. I was like, I just don't even want to put anyone through that, in all honesty.
Except me.
You still had an option.
I don't know. What made you sign up for... Listen, you know that this race is hard. You're well aware of the terrain and the challenges and the difficulty of this race that looks fairly simple and easy on paper.
Yeah.
It does. The elevation profile is not that demanding. It's not a ton of gain. There's flat, fast, runnable, 30 miles of flat, fast, and runnable, right slap dab in the middle of it. You know it's tough. Why did you do this? I'm just saying, what's up, Jones?
I've really been wanting to.
Because you have another 100 on your calendar this year.
Yeah.
You didn't need to push the button for the fall.
Well, when we were talking about our goals last year, I said I want to do at least 3 or 400s next year. I had said that, and I'd really kind of been craving just something really hard in the woods that I didn't feel like I had to go fast. And it sounds silly to say, but if I signed up for the 50 or the 35, I feel like I would have had to run that hard.
I tell you what, I was sitting there thinking about that 35. I'm like, that is a tough 50K.
Yeah.
Because you get no flat runnable in the 50K, in the 35.
No.
You start at Dry Creek, but you don't get any of them loops. It is just straight up Johns Mountain for you. And then
Then you're in it.
And then straight up another mountain.
Yeah.
And then down into Snake and straight up another mountain to the toughest part. Like, it's just, I'm just thinking, like, oh, maybe I run the 30. I'm like, that sounds like a horribly difficult 50K.
It is.
Like, that's tough.
Yeah.
That is a hard 50K.
I said I didn't want any part of that.
That's fair. I appreciate
it. Jenny really wanted to get the finisher rate up. They've really been trying to do that, especially for it being the 10th year. And I know they really want to be able to become a Western States qualifier, and they're going to have a higher finisher rate. And I knew that I could cover the distance, and I knew I could move for the amount of time that it could take all 35 hours. I certainly hoped not, but I knew I could move between 30 to 35 hours. That I trusted. Was it going to like it? Was it going to look good? No, none of that. But that wasn't the case. So.
All right. So you went through the difficult bits. You made it down into Snake Creek. How were you feeling when you came in? You came in right around 5-ish, I think.
Yeah, 5:15.
Not bad. But again, that's such a narrow window. I mean, honestly, like that's a really narrow window to hit. I mean, you're playing with 35, 45 minutes. The first real cutoff. I mean, you got power lines cut off. There's cut off. There's like that's a tight window, I think.
Yeah, and I coming into pocket. I think I was only like an hour ahead of cutoff. Then there wasn't one at Johns Mountain. You just had to make it to Dry Creek. It let up a little bit. But no, you are right. I mean, coming in 35, 45 minutes ahead of cutoff, that cushion can quickly disappear if you have a rough section.
Yeah, well, but I also think that's the smart race strategy is if you're a mid packer, if you're a back of the packer, or even like that's where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
You're right around 5 o'clock coming in.
Yeah,
like that. You just have to not think about being that close to the cutoff. Mm-hmm. And 18 miles in, you just like this is just kind of where you need to be to not overexert yourself and burn up on the first 18 miles. And honestly, I think most people I saw were way too hot heart rates. What we would say is way too high for that section. You just kind of have to suck it up and deal with it.
Oh yeah, I mean it was so hot, and my heart rate, it didn't drop out of the 170s until probably about mile 16, and then it still stayed in the 160s. It was in the 180s. Yeah. It was crazy high. I mean, I took my watch off at one point to like see, and it wasn't just my watch misreading. Like I could feel it
in
my chest. Like I knew it was reading right. Even walking, it was at 170 something. It just wouldn't come down. So yeah, you are right. That's about like really where you need to be to not kill yourself, because we see people all the time getting to Dry Creek and then they're just exhausted because they ran hot throughout the whole day. And I saw it after that section. I came into Snake Creek feeling good.
Yeah, you're all right.
Yeah, like
you're top notch. You look all right. You're fine.
Yeah,
everything's moving.
I didn't want to come in at 5:30. I wanted to get there around 5:15. If I got in there after 5:30, I definitely probably would have been a little panicked. I mean, I knew the next section had a lot of runnable and I could make up time, but I didn't want to have to do that if I didn't have to. Anyways, what did you think when you saw me come in?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm just not. I don't know. Like I just wasn't concerned.
Good.
Like I wasn't worried about it. Like I wasn't like this is just what we're doing. It's not time to think too much or have emotion about it. Like it was just like, all right, get your stuff. Like let's go try to cool you off a little bit.
Yeah.
That was it. And get you turned out and ready to go. Like it wasn't. It's just kind of like mechanical.
Yeah.
Like
Well, and that early it should be like there shouldn't be any panic or anything. I think you see a lot of crews and a lot of people get really excited, like, oh, they're doing so great. Or if someone's close to it, they get very worried.
As emotional as I am most of the time, I am not very emotional when you're running, or at least when I see you. Like it's just because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna keep on doing. It's just the operation of getting you through the aid station and getting you out of there.
Yeah. So I got my butt on out of there, climbed another mountain immediately, and then we dropped down to some runnable. And
that starts right up. There's a 3-mile climb out of there.
Yeah. It's
going to Pocket Aid Station.
Yeah, but then there's some good flat runnable after those mountains. Yeah. So I took advantage of that, and I actually kind of enjoyed that section. I was very happy to get on over to Pocket, and amazing volunteers over there. Some of the people had ran Tennessee Mile. It was great energy. And I didn't mind climbing Johns Mountain. And I knew it was 3.3 miles to the top. It was going to be rocky. But then I would have a 7-mile-ish, close to downhill.
Yeah. Well, and it's another 18 miles until you get crew access again out of Dry Creek.
Yeah. So I was ready to kind of start moving on through that. So I took off out of pocket and climbed. I was trying to get as far in as I could before I had to turn on a headlamp, though, which I got. I wanted to get to Johns Mountain aid station before I had to turn on a headlamp goal. I realized I was straight walking in the dark over all these rocks.
It's the little things that will keep you motivated in an ultra. It's like, I'm not going to bust out this headlamp. It's not time yet.
I know, and I knew that I was close to the aid station. I was like, come on, I can make it. And now I realized, like, you couldn't see a snake on the ground if you needed to. Like, I realized I really couldn't see where I was putting my feet. Like, I could see where the trail went. And I was like, this is really stupid.
This is all I can see.
Yeah, this is stupid. Just turn on your headlamp. About 2 minutes after I turned on my headlamp, my watch died. I was at 27 miles, and my Coros just like went low battery, beep, and then
your watch has been on the fritz.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a Coros Apex. Like, there's no reason.
You've had it for a long time.
Maybe like 4 years.
You've had it for 4 years. You've had it for quite a while, and not for nothing. I mean,
it's not like it gets a lot of use.
It does not get a lot of use, but if it did, you might notice it not working. Like, it'd go, oh crap, my watch doesn't work. We got to think something different. This is part of that race preparation where young people keep talking about.
You as I say, not
insider tip.
Yeah.
If you train and you train with a watch, you'll know whether you can depend on that watch come race day.
Fair. So sometimes I just can't be bothered to charge it or track things on a watch either. Like, it's a whole other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. So at that point, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This is bullshit. Like, I mean, I was pretty pissed. Yeah. So what?
I just can't help it to realize that these 100 miles are not going to be under Strava for the year.
No, they're not. I'm going to add it in. I'm going to add it into my time. We need to get the watch out of the car and get it charged up so I can at least get the data off of there that I had. But I hadn't done that because I'm still pissed about it. But I was like, okay, well, this is going to be real fucking interesting. I was like, what? Once I get to Johns, though, or Johns Mountain, I can at least, like, kind of go aid station to aid station and get to y'all and get it charged. Get in and out of Johns Mountain. And that next section, it's like 7.5 miles, mostly downhill. It's got some rolling. And I just kind of locked into a nice little groove and cruised through that next 7.5 miles. I mean, it was dark. It was cold. And I just was like, in my head, I was like, I'm out here working on my night moves. I was singing in my head, passing people, running uphill, like, and it was dark, and I knew I was running up a hill, but I couldn't see the hill. And I was like, if it takes less than 15 seconds to get to the top, I'm just going to keep running. And that's just what I did. That whole section felt great. It was nice to be cool. I saw a lot of people that I could tell they were going to drop when they got to Dry Creek.
Should have dropped at Snake.
Like, it was rough. And there was a part of me that was a little bit relaxed running that 7.5. I mean, again, I didn't know how many miles in I was or where or anything because I didn't have a watch to tell me. And sometimes you think you're moving fast and you're not, so it's kind of nice to have like this feels like I'm moving. Well, you're running a 14-minute mile, or are you running a 12-minute mile, or
are you running an 18-minute
mile? The watch kind of brings you back to reality.
It certainly can, yeah.
Yeah. And I like reality. Sometimes I don't like what I see, but I like the feedback, or at least having that. And I probably could have opened up Strava on my phone, but I didn't want to waste my battery because every battery I touched just somehow drained. I think I had this magnetic energy about me because my phone was just draining.
Magnetic energy.
So I turned my phone to airplane mode so I can at least save that. Yeah, I got to you guys at Dry Creek.
Yeah, about when I expected you to. Like, you were kind of right on where I thought you'd be. I got out there early. I tried to take a nap. That didn't work. So I just got out there early and kind of hung out with Chet and Nathan and T-Rex City and Leah, and Brooke was there. So we just kind of, sat around and chillaxed.
Yeah, Leah said, she was like, you and John must have some sort of like alignment because you had said something about she should be here in just a few minutes. And she was like, Yeah, they didn't know we were serious. And then you could hear my holler.
I hear your holler. Like every time. She'd be like, that didn't hurt. I'm like, okay. And there you come around the corner.
Yeah, there I am.
Like, listen, I've done this before. I know what she sounds like. We're good.
Yeah.
But then there's 15 miles before you can get a pacer. So you come in at like 35 and you got to run 2 loops and then you can pick somebody up.
Yeah. And those Dry Creek loops 2 and 4 aren't too bad, but this year the 1 and 3, because it's a figure 8, you do each loop twice. There were so many weeds out there. It was like they had done a controlled burn and then just recut through the trail. It was.
Everybody kind of complained about it.
Yeah, I mean it was shit, and that's
I didn't
fine.
notice. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, well, you had
didn't bother me.
Well, it bothered me, and mainly because I was worried about snakes.
Snaky snakes will get you.
Yeah,
I was not worried about snakes. I maybe should have been.
You should have been. There were sections where you really couldn't see. It was just the grass was just tall enough, and it was up on the sides, and it's that good kind of underbrush that copperheads and rattlesnakes really like. So I was very concerned about that. It definitely kept my eyes glued to the ground, which was pretty cool because on loop 3, when me and Tracy were out, I saw ghost pipes. Okay, Indian pipes. There are a type of plant, like mushroom, whatever. They don't photosynthesize. They're white. They're very, very rare. They're super cool. And we were walking and I was like, crap, look at these ghost pipes. And I've never seen them in person. I was super excited. She was like, do you want me to take a picture? I was like, oh, yes, please. I was so excited to share with Aaliyah that there were ghost pipes out there. And I don't know how the frick I saw them because they were just kind of off to the side. And I couldn't believe no one had stepped on them. I was so excited. As we're going through, Tracy was like, you just know, all these different things. I was like, this is a tulip poplar over here. Here's a hickory sapling over here. Here's a tree of heaven. This plant. And I was like, this is how I've entertained myself on the loop with all this undergrowth to keep it from pissing me off is I'm just spotting all the plants that I know and seeing new different ones.
Did you just say how the frick?
I don't have no idea, did I?
Baby, Jesus is working on you. This is getting real.
Don't get your hopes up.
Anyway, so yeah, Snake Creek, I abandoned you a bit.
Oh, Dry Creek.
Dry Creek. I abandoned you a bit. Dry Creek. I ran a couple loops with Nathan as a pacer for him. So I think I saw you on 1 loop.
Yeah. Which was fine. I wanted you to run with him and have a good time.
I ran a couple loops with Nathan. He ran awesome. Nathan had not speeds, but 2 gears. And one of them was we're running, running. And the other one is we are hiking really, really fast. And I can't hike as fast as Nathan can hike.
Nathan can hike fast.
Nathan can hike real fast. And so we would start hiking and then he would put 20 yards on me in a minute and a half. And so I would jog to catch up. And then he would just take off running because he thought we were running again.
So funny.
I was like, what's going on? Come on, man. At one point, he stopped and then I was messing with my shorts and he got out ahead. He took off and I thought he got on another trail. I thought I missed a turn because 5 seconds after he was running, I was running behind him and he was gone. Gone. You're at mile 60 at this point and I've got no idea where you're at. He was moving.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I'm not being slow. It's very impressive. And then I saw you for Foursies. The start loop 4, we were back.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was headed out. He
was leaving to go back he was making the return. You came in that morning and I don't know, what was the lowest part of your, the high part for your race obviously was seeing the invisible plants.
They get all their nutrients from.
What was the low point?
Okay.
The race for you?
Oh, well, that came later. But I did hit a pretty good wall, probably around 3 something. It was witching hour time. And I remember me and Tracy were kind of hiking along and I was just so fucking tired.
Yeah, it's that time of day.
And I knew that. And I said to her, I was like, what time is it? 3 something? I was like, that's what, she was like, yeah, it's 3 there. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that's what I said. I was like, that makes sense. I was like, I just had this overwhelming sense of fuck, I am tired. That was, yeah, okay.
But it's one of those things, if you know that's what's happening and that low, it's, I think it's less load if you can logically get there and be like, okay, it's 3 a.m. Like I've been up for almost 24 hours and been going a long time.
Yeah.
Like this is why I feel this way. It doesn't have anything to do with your performance. It just has to do with the time of day it is.
Yeah, 100%. And that was the other thing about this race is it really did take all the experience and knowledge and everything that I have learned. And I really had to apply those and know that, like, knowing my body, trust my body, timing, not getting in my head about stuff, knowing that that time of day I'm going to be slower, that I am going to feel tired. And the other thing, with my heart rate, I mean, it was sky high the entire race. So usually in a race, I have a lower heart rate and I crave some like real food,
Oh no,
like
no,
I
no!
actually want to eat.
No, you refused to eat food.
No, but I drank calories.
You didn't want to eat. Yeah.
I did the Ensure Plus,
You did
which
do
is
some
385
Ensures, yeah.
calories. And when I stopped at aid stations, I pretty much drank an entire Coke with my reusable cup. It refilled 3 times, and that would be an entire thing. So I pretty much fueled with sugar and carbs. And it didn't bother my stomach. I never had any stomach issues, but I was in such a high enough heart range that that's what my body needed to.
You did a lot of caffeine.
I did.
From the get-go, you were doing caffeine. You were like, give me caffeine gels, caffeine gels, caffeine gels, caffeine gels.
Yeah, but once you start caffeine, you do have to kind of keep it up. And those gels are only 25 milligrams. And I had it spread out enough. It wasn't like I was taking in 100 milligrams of caffeine at once. It was staggered enough that it was okay.
Okay. I'm just saying, a change from how you normally operate.
It was all completely different.
Because listen, you wanted real food. You were going to do the Arby's roast beef sandwich train. Mm-hmm. So I got you some Arby's.
Yeah. And that Arby's is out of the way there in Dalton too.
It's on the complete opposite side. Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Yeah, so I did appreciate that, and I know you said it's Snake Creek.
I think you ate like a nibble of one.
Yeah, I tried.
I can't be bothered. It was in Dry Creek at the end of Loop 2 or Loop 1. I think you're like, I'm not eating anymore. Like if we would try to feed you food, you're like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
I came back from a loop with that first loop with Nathan. There was. The hatch on the car was open. You had shoes and socks on the ground. There was just stuff everywhere. I'm like, well, she came in, she went back out. There's nobody around, but I could tell that the crewing happened. I tidied things up a bit. Like, no, this can't do.
Yeah, I definitely took a completely different approach, and I felt bad because Chet had made those cheeseburgers when I came into Snake Creek earlier in the day. You're like, Chet made a cheeseburger, and I was like, I ain't gonna eat that.
I even haven't put mustard on it. If I ate the cheeseburger, I need dinner.
But I just knew but I knew my body wasn't utilizing those food sources, and that was just going to sit on my stomach. And so it was kind of pointless. I still need the protein, but that's where the Ensure came in, and that's 8 ounces and almost 400 calories. And those still kind of sat on my stomach for about 30 minutes afterwards, but it's much easier for my stomach to digest. And I can tell you, if I tried eating that many calories of sugar and carbs in the other races and stuff, there's no way. I would be so sick. I would be throwing up or pooping my pants. There's just no way my tummy would have handled it. But it was fine because it was what my body needed. Now, my stomach growled at me a few times because it was like wanted something other than liquid in it.
So I was like, hey, how about some food? And you're like, no. Food is dumb.
Give me something that has texture.
Nope.
So I would eat some watermelon and like the oranges and stuff were good. So it actually felt like something was in my stomach, but it wasn't more work for my stomach.
Sure.
So, and those aren't real calories. Fucking fruit doesn't count as calories. I don't care what anybody says.
Watermelon doesn't have calories in it. Like pickles, watermelon.
Orange, no.
You're wasting.
Yeah. So, yeah, with that, the dust out there on those Dry Creek loops was fucking insane. I could feel it on one of the loops with Tracy, like it was kind of getting in my like I felt like kind of raspy, and I was like, oh, this is not good. And I know when I was out there twice, I took clean freaks to my legs because I was just so caked in dirt and dust. And usually I don't do that. Like I don't care, but it was so much. It felt like it was sucking moisture out of me. Like my legs were itching from all of the dust, and my nose had just like brown crust all the inside of my nostrils. And I was like, oh man. And I've never dealt with dust like that before. It's never bothered me. And then I started kind of like the wheezing if I would run, like I could feel it in my chest. I think you heard some of it when we were running together.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah, we're not jumping ahead. But...
So there's like more. The sun came up out there at Dry Creek.
Oh yeah.
And the buses arrived. And I was trying to do nap, and you were on your last loop. I was fit for trying to fall asleep, and I'd finally fall asleep. I was leaning back in the car. Car was running, heat was on. It was fantastic. And then somebody was shining a flashlight into my face, like a strobe light. Blink, 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 blink. What is going on out there? And the bus that dropped off 35s and the 50, the strobe light was right in front of my face. And it was just beep, 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 beep. It wasn't making noise, but you know what I'm saying? It was blinking. And I was like, all right, I guess we're just going to wake up now.
Yeah, I got to tell you, when I came in from that loop and saw all those people there, and I knew going in that it would be a reality that I would be headed out or finishing up loop 4 when people were getting there starting.
You want to, as much as you want to hit that 5-ish into Snake, you want to get out of Dry Creek before the buses get there. Or moving when the buses are, because the buses got there early this year, but they started like 7:30. You want to be getting out of there.
Yeah,
you were not getting out. You were. I mean, you came in at like 7-ish, 7:10 maybe.
Yeah.
So I think you came in before 7 and you left at like 7:10 because you didn't want and then you didn't want to leave because you didn't want all those people behind you. You didn't want all the 35s behind you, which I understand. Like, you don't want to be going out and then 10 minutes later a herd of 35-mile runners is running you over and off the trail. And not only does that suck mentally, you also have to stop and let people by every 30 seconds. And that cuts down your time too. And so it's a huge, huge frustration if that's where you're at.
Yeah. And then I realized it was going to still be a little bit longer before they left because they were waiting for everyone to go to the bathroom and the line was really, really long. So I decided, I'm going to go ahead and go. And one of my next goals, like when Tracy and I left out, was there's a split where you go to do your loop and then where the thirds and like where you go back to Snake splits. I was like, if I can just get to the sign of like to Snake, like I'll be really happy if I can just get past that before they start.
A mile and a half out.
Like let me get on out.
You got to get a win. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you did. I mean, you got out.
I did.
But that was like because you saw Jenny at the start. Mm-hmm. Or start there. You saw Jenny there. You didn't talk to Jenny before the race started. Mm-hmm. And that was like this moment of it was a moment of emotion for you that you tried to really choke back and didn't quite get it choked up. But that was at the time like I'm going to finish in this emotional. I am going to finish this, and you don't usually have those moments of emotion of like I'm going to do it. And I think when you're rallying yourself. And you're trying to hype yourself up and steady your resolve of I'm going to finish this thing. You don't usually you have that attitude where you're going to finish, but you don't have that like you need to tell people and yourself that you're going to finish.
Yeah,
like you don't do that. No. You say I'm going to wrap this shit up. I can't wait to get this shit done. And then you go this fucking shit. Like, you do a lot of talk around finishing the thing. You never go I'm going to finish. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, no, that needed to be verbalized.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, all right, this is where we're at.
If it clued you into where I was.
I was like, I had a feeling this is where we were going, and we're here.
Yeah, we have arrived.
But we sat down, it took a few more minutes. Tracy went, I was going to run the 2 loops with Nathan, and then I was going to run to Pocket or to Snake with you. And then you got really upset about how I didn't need to be running out there because it was rocky.
Well,
and you forbade me from going because you came in and was like, hey, you don't need to do that section to Pocket. It's too rocky. You've been running a lot of road. I want to be like, I've been running. I think I'll be all right. And you're like, nah, you're going to do it. So I was like, all right, whatever. And then like, I'm going to ignore all of what you're saying because you're not in charge of me. And then I was just going to run out with Nathan to Pocket then. And you got really upset. And you're like, no, you're not doing it. You don't need to be going. You've got a race in 4 weeks. You don't need to be taking any chances rolling your ankles. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm not. Sorry, Nathan. I can't run with you anymore. Like I said, no.
I was right though. There were a lot of.
I think I'd have been all right.
There were still a lot of like the acorn rock sections mixed up in there.
Sure.
Yeah, that was another treat. The acorns and all the rolly rocks. That was, anyways.
Can we just say that Tracy is the most game ready pacer?
Fuck yeah.
Like she, not for nothing. Like she doesn't do a ton of distance running. Like she just doesn't. But if she's on the crew and you go, hey, do you want to pace me this section? She's like, okay, I'll go. And then she'll just run 25 miles.
Yeah, that's what
like
she
that's
did.
That's just Tracy.
That was one of her longer runs. Yeah. Like she originally was just going to run like 5 miles.
Yeah, she was going to run a loop.
Yeah, and then I think her talked to Leah, and Leah was like, yeah, go back out. And she's like, well, I don't want to like slow back. And she's like, you're not going to slow her down. You'll be fine. And Leah was very sweet. Leah was like, what if I get changed and I'll have my clothes on underneath my pajamas? So if you feel like you can't go back out, then I'll just jump in and be ready, which was a very sweet thing to do. She was like, would that make you feel better? And Tracy was, yes. And of course, when we came back in, Tracy was good. So, because, she's Tracy.
She's good to go.
Yeah. So we went back out. And then I had initially planned on doing that from Dry Creek over to Pocket by myself. Like I was at peace with that because it really didn't make sense for Leah to jump in and do that section, then have to have that long section at the end. And I didn't want you on all those rocks. But I mean, the sun was up, so I wasn't like going to be doing that in the dark by myself. Yeah. So I wasn't concerned. But when y'all said something about Tracy being ready, and I was like, oh, you're coming with me?
Yeah, we had decided. I think Aaliyah and I might have conspired against her in that moment. We're like, hey, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah. It was a pleasant surprise because I had already had
You did get a little picked up.
I did.
Yeah. So that's good. You got a little boost.
Yeah. I mean, I had in my head I was going to be doing that by myself, so it was good.
Then you made you and TRX made your way into Pocket.
Yeah. And, we made it a really good ways. We were actually like on the rolling gravel road before the 35 started coming through.
Boom.
So that was actually really, really nice. And I was like, okay, if I can get out of Pocket before we see the first 50 miles, because I was trying to do math in my head on where the top 50s would be.
Which is always fun.
Yeah. Well, but then I got through Johns Mountain before a 50 came through. I was like, maybe I can make it to Snake before a 50 comes through. It's the little things like that like make you not feel so terrible about where you're at.
So, I don't think you made it to Snake though.
You said the first like 3 had just come through, like a couple minutes for like the lead.
Well, I ran Pocket to Snake with you.
Yeah.
And then we got passed by 50.
Yeah, but it wasn't to Snake that the 50s
started. Yeah. So I got to run with you at that point.
Yeah, after I got to Pocket, yeah.
Yeah. How was that?
It was good. But you all running with you makes me very emotional though. Like it opens up like I don't know what it is, but I enjoy it.
What is it?
I don't know.
I didn't think you were that emotional.
No, I mean, I kept it together pretty good, but I feel like I'm much more vulnerable and can get out of that racing headspace.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you were doing good. I mean, there was a few miles there. You were running, we were moving, and we were putting down good miles, and we did some grunting.
Yeah.
We did some primordial grunting.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It was very grunty and vocal. It was so long. And I had left my poles at this point.
Yeah.
Because I forgot how much climbing was going to be in that second half of that. And I definitely...
Probably could have used a pole.
Definitely could have. I was having a hard time climbing, which I don't usually have a hard time climbing, but I couldn't really breathe. And anytime I'd take a deep breath, my lungs felt like they were just being compressed. It definitely made me a lot shorter breath.
We didn't stop.
No.
You didn't take any breaks on the way up. You were moving, and it's hot. Like you're up on a ridge line, but it's exposed. Like, yeah, there's a canopy up there, but it's not thick enough. The sun's coming through and there's no breeze, and it's just kind of in a furnace.
Yeah.
But we were picking people off.
Yeah.
We were moving.
Yeah, I enjoyed that section with you and passing some people. I will say, when me and Tracy were going to Johns Mountain, like for the longest, I stayed on the right side of like the road, and it's still like a little overgrown, but not bad because all those 35s were coming through, and I didn't want them to have to go around me. So I'm like, I'll just keep my ass over here. But then once we got back to like the single track, you were getting to much further back in the 35s, and I was not moving over. Like I said, I was very nice. I said, hey, I've got 60 something miles on my legs. I can't stop start. I said, when you're ready to come through, I'll get over as far as I can, but you're going to have to take your nimbly bimbly legs and work your way around me. And everyone was super cool and like super sweet about it. But I definitely had to have I have to think about me and what I need right now, because I can't start for 20 more people.
Which isn't wrong. Like, listen, like, that's the other thing. If you're running a short distance behind somebody that's doing 100, like, they're trying to move. And if they have to keep stopping, that's just, you turn those 20-minute miles into 25-minute miles real quick just because you're being polite.
Yeah.
JB kept doing this out of Fierce Dragon. I was like, hey, man, they'll go around.
Yeah.
There's room. Keep on moving.
Yep. You got to do you. And there are actually some races, and they've said at the beginning of Cruel Jewel, if you're running the 50, like, hey, the 100 milers are out there. You need to go around them.
Yep.
That's what it should be. And that's good trail etiquette. If you have not thought about that and you are running a shorter distance.
I mean, I'll step out of the way of somebody burning it down.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like,
yeah.
I don't want to get run over.
Yeah, but
in general, just be polite.
Yeah.
The 3 seconds it takes you to go around is much better than the 30 seconds it takes them to stop.
Yes, and to have to get going again.
It hurts.
It does. It hurts so much, and I couldn't do it.
When did the excruciating pain set in?
I was having some pretty bad foot pain. Probably around 60 something. It was different. It was different than like the impact. Like, definitely the impact stuff hurts, but this was more of a shooting, burning sort of like nerve pain. Like, I could feel it in each individual toe and up through my foot. It was
miserable.
It certainly was, and it was sharp enough that I couldn't ignore it. But that combined with the impact of, just the repetition of your feet pounding, and it definitely intensified. I can usually compartmentalize my legs being stiff or hurting, or the feet having the tingly sensations from hitting the ground. The other thing is all those rocks make it so worse. Like, your point of contact is so much longer on the ground, and with those rocks sticking, it just, oh my God, it was so bad. It was so, so bad. I mean, by the end, I think when I finally came in the snake, like, I was like shaking at one point.
Oh, you were a hot mess when we go back into snake.
Yeah. My feet were
you were not in a good place.
No, and I knew what was left, and I will tell you, I made that joke about, like, what if I just told you I'm not going back out?
Get in the car.
Like,
good.
There was a part of me
that was... Let's go to the finish. And...
I mean, I knew I was going to go back out, but I mean, I was sitting there going, and, tell people not to think ahead, but I knew realistically it was going to be between 7 and 8 hours before I was done. I was very, very well aware of that, because I got out in 5 hours and 15 minutes. So I was like, okay, well, then add 2 hours to that at least.
I figured it at 8. I figured it was going to be 8.
Yeah.
8 leaving there.
On it, and almost any time I have to run an out and back, and we have that last section, if that last 20, you can almost put me down for 2.5 hours longer than
but that's everybody. Everybody is going to take longer to
Nathan only took an hour longer. He did good.
Nathan dropped his pacer. Nathan's pacer had to get picked up in the truck. So that's how he was moving. Nathan was walking 15-minute miles out there. So that's dumb.
Yeah.
But anybody, and this is where I think crews and support people get like all freaked out at the end. Well, it only took 5 hours at the beginning. So where are they? They ran 60 more miles. Probably gonna take a little bit longer.
Yeah, for sure. That's how that works.
Probably not gonna negative split that last section.
No.
Like, they're gonna move slower, even if it's just a minute. I mean, that's 20 minutes. It's gonna take longer. It's probably a minute and a half or 2 minutes. Now we're at 40, and they're probably gonna take longer at those aid stations.
Yep. That's what I was gonna say.
Like, you probably didn't stop at power lines at all on the way out.
No, I didn't.
But you shown us stopped on the way back.
Sure did.
And you were probably there for 10, 15 minutes.
Probably
you were there for 10. So, and then you were at Stover for 15, 20 minutes, I'm sure.
I sat at Stover for a minute because I also knew that was going to be the longest section going back.
Which is the right thing to do. But it's just that sort of like understanding the mechanics of ultra running and what your runners out there doing while you're waiting, is that their pace is going to slow unless they're in complete control of their body and pace and race up until this point.
Yeah.
Even then, you think it's probably going to slow a little bit. And then, too, they're probably going to take more time sitting down at the aid station than they did. So we can add 30 minutes to that off the rip.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
So calm down. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, I forgot where we were. We were running together, Snake Creek. And
we
me and Aaliyah
ran down into Snake Creek. You and Leah headed out.
Yeah.
Head on up.
Aaliyah was so great for that section because she was very kind and didn't try to push me or do anything. Listen, I've just got to move at a steady pace for a while. Like I felt like the entire time I had been like trying to push, and I was like, I just have to move. I just have to move.
Yeah. Well, I gave Aaliyah some secret sauce.
Oh,
I gave her some secret weapons when I got into Snake Creek. You'd been wanting all the caffeine, and so eventually I just told you we were out.
I hate you for that. That's very mean because I needed it.
But I knew that you would really need it on that last section, so I was playing the long game.
Thank you.
Where you didn't actually need the caffeine at noon. 11 o'clock, noon, 1 o'clock.
I don't know. I've been running for 24 hours at that point.
I know, but you were fine. And I was like, hey, listen, I've got this caffeine gel. I got these caffeine chocolates. Like, she's going to need them. Just go ahead. When she starts to get a little burp, give her one of these. Like, she'll perk right up. And then, hey, when you're about a mile and a half out from power lines, you feed her these candies every 30 minutes. She'll eat them right out of your hand like a horse at the petting zoo.
I sure will.
So I played the long game for you. We're going to perk you up, and then we're going to get you rocking and rolling on sugar. And that last 3.5 miles isn't going to be so bad.
Yeah, well, I started eating the sugar actually before that. I needed it.
She gave you the sugar cubes early.
Oh, no, I asked for them.
There you go. All right, then.
Because I was going along, and same with the chocolate. I hit just a wall. Like the pain was a lot, and
oh yeah,
I was like,
there was no time frame for the chocolate caffeine. It was just like, she's gonna need this,
and I did. Give it to her. But it was very like melty in the thing, and I was like tried to like get it out and like squeeze it all into my mouth, but it was like crumbly / melty. It was a weird thing, but it was good. I did let her hold on to the candies though, because I knew if I put them on me, I wouldn't want the effort of having to put them out.
No, yeah, you wouldn't. That's why you got to feed them to you like it's petting zoo.
I would be like, hey, can I have 2 of those? Can I have?
Do you want sugar cubes?
Like, because she was like, hey, do you want to carry these on you? And I had the real thought in my head of,
I won't. Sure, but I'm not going to eat them.
Yeah, once they're on me, I ain't touching them.
Yeah, I've seen that play out before.
I know me. So,
but you're more than happy at that point in the race to eat candy out of somebody's hand. You're like, ooh.
Yeah.
I tried to hand you gummy bears at Kroll Jordan. You're like, you didn't want them. Like, I was trying to, they hand you gummy worms. You're like, no, not that, not like that.
Put them in the palm of your hand.
That's because that's just it. Like, I'm not going to fight you on this one.
As some people say, they're feral. They don't even know. I did want to mention Tracy on this. I mean, she was so awesome. It was so funny out there too, because she was like, I don't want to say anything, but like my legs like hurt. She was like, this is like really rough. And I was like, yes, tell me how much this sucks. Tell me. Like, she was like, I just feel like as a pacer. No, tell me all of the things.
Nah, sometimes.
I want you to tell me that you are a human.
Yes.
And that what I am feeling is real and this is terrible, so we can laugh at it together. Please don't make me feel like I'm a little bitch and keep it to yourself. Tell me about these rocks and how stupid they are. Yeah. So
it's a delicate balance.
Yeah. Shout out to her.
Between complaining and commiserating.
Yes.
And you want to commiserate a little bit.
You do.
You want to say, hey, I'm sharing in this suffering. I recognize it's horrible. And I told Nathan when we were on Loop 2, I was like, hey man, this loop kind of sucks. It's not as good as the last one. And then I complained about the switchbacks when I was with you. I was like, we've crossed this same gully like 7 times.
Yeah, I felt the same.
What's the point of that?
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. And when we were out there, I guess she thought we were going to Stover and we were headed to Powerline. And I was like, no, girl, like we're like 7 miles from the finish. And she was like, no. I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm at like mile 93 now.
Yeah, because you didn't have a watch, and Leah didn't start her watch. Y'all had no idea where you were at.
She didn't start her watch till probably like a mile and a half later. So we were trying to like figure out math. I said Stover is 11 miles from the finish, so we should have been hitting. But she figured we should be hitting the Powerline aid station when her watch clicked. Somehow the number 14 was in there and something, but I don't know that all that.
Y'all were just running on vibes.
Hey, let me tell you, when you don't have a watch and you're running on vibes, it's not a good feeling. Like it's not. But anyways, it was hilarious because I pulled out like Gaia and like showed the thing. She's like, no. We were cracking up. I really did. It tickled my soul. I was laughing so freaking hard. She's like, oh shit, I didn't realize we were that close. I'm like, yeah, I may not have a watch and I may not know where I am, but I fucking know where I am. I know where I've been.
Know where I'm going.
I was like, that's part of why I sat at Stover so long. This is gonna be a long section, and like I'm about to be in single digits counting this bitch down.
I feel like it's not like you've got to climb to get out of Stover a bit.
You do.
But it's not that long, and then you're mostly on the ridge.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a big climb out of Stover.
No.
And then it's mostly rock garden flatness ridgetop.
Yeah, you do a couple like drop downs, but it's nothing really insane until
Stover to Snake goes through like down by the creek.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, the creek is after, but anyways,
from Stover to Snake, or Snake to Stover, you go by the creek.
Yeah, there's a creek.
Yeah.
There's anyways, it was very, very entertaining, and I about cried when I probably did some when we finally got out of the woods and hit the road that leads down to power lines, because I knew, like, okay, we probably only have like 4 more miles of this thing left. Like, I had time and miles that I could actually conceptualize. And I definitely cried when we got to power lines because I knew, I'm like,
because they had Cokes there.
Yeah, so here's the other thing. So in the hell of my own making that was in my mind for those last few miles before we got to power line, I had convinced myself in my head that they weren't going to have any Cokes or Sprite there, and all I wanted was cold bubbles and sugar calories. Yeah, like I just wanted it, and I had in my head that I was so slow and then I was so far behind that everything was going to be gone when I got there, and they were just going to tell me water and tailwind was all they had. And I was literally about crying as we were headed that way. Like, it was just this whole scenario. I could see it. And when we got there was a chair I could sit in. There was a puppy I could pet, and they had Cokes, and I was like crying. I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, I had convinced myself you weren't going to have anything. And I had emotionally prepared myself to be told you're out of everything. Like, and I just sat there just like crying while my face was like, I'm good. Just petting the puppy.
Emotional support on animals at aid stations. That's what's happening.
Drinking my Coke. Oh, and then we saw April. That was really good. We had been seeing Tina and Kasaya throughout the whole race, so I was surprised to not see them come in behind me.
Philip and John?
Yeah, out on the 50. Yeah, that was awesome. They looked really strong out there.
They were. They had a good run. Proud of him.
Yeah, but yeah, then we headed out. In my mind, I was just like, count it down, count it down. We're at 2-something miles now. And then I remembered on the way out, Tina had not started her watch immediately, and as we were running down the road, she asked me and Kasaya where our watches were. I remembered I said 1.7 miles. And when I hit that same spot on the road, like, I was like, I am 1.7 fucking miles out of this bitch. Like, there was so much excitement in my soul because I knew exactly how far away I was. And then we had a very long climb on the road, and breathing was very, very hard for me.
About 30, 35 minutes. How far away you are.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, the taking deep breaths hurt at that point, and I was definitely pretty winded. You got like the mix of her text messages, or was she texting you when we were headed out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they were hard to understand. But when she texted me you were at power lines, that was a definitive. I know where you were at now. I can expect you.
Yeah.
In about an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Nah, about an hour-ish.
I did have to stop a couple times climbing Mount Baker because I literally couldn't breathe.
Yeah, well, and you're just not going to scoot down from power line to the road either.
No, you got a trail section.
Yeah, it's not a quick descent.
No. I did stick my poles out in front of me as much as I could so they could absorb a bunch of the impact and I could actually, quote unquote, run. I don't think it was a fast run, but it was a running motion. It was easier on my legs, and they felt pretty good when I got to the road. And I was able to run for a little bit once we got to the road until we started climbing. And I was like, I ain't fucking running that. Mount Baker, stopped 3 times. When I got to the top, the parking lot, I had a massive coughing fit, and I'm pretty sure I peed my pants a little bit. I was trying not to, but I couldn't really tell because my bottom half had been wet for so many hours that I couldn't tell if I got wetter or not. But I know that I was like standing there coughing, and I wouldn't go towards the finish because I can't run coughing. They're like, oh, we can start moving. I'm like, I'm done doing this. And I also couldn't walk because I would have completely started pissing myself. So I'm standing there like cinching everything up and with my legs together. So don't pee my pants so I can come in. It was.
Yeah, you don't want to run in with pee pants.
No, you don't. As I said, there may have been some dribble. I'm not sure. Something might have escaped, but I wouldn't have known it. So it wouldn't have made a difference. I'm like, yeah, I can't run into the. I'm 2 minutes from the finish, and I'm standing here trying to not pee myself. This is ridiculous. I was like, yeah, just one more thing. It's all right though. Came in, got to see you.
Yeah, it was great. Came rolling in there, hooting.
Yeah.
And then had another coughing fit.
Yeah. Laid in bed the rest of the night. Like, it was still pretty thick then. Like, you couldn't get like a good hack to get it out.
I went right to sleep.
I was so worried about it. He's like over there asleep in the bed.
I slept for like 10 and a half hours. I was good. It's fantastic.
I did not sleep that much. All the caffeine and sugar that was still in my body and the coughing, I was just.
Well, how do you feel today?
I feel pretty good today.
Go for a run?
No.
Okay.
Well, today I was actually hungry. That's the other thing I'm surprised at. I wasn't really hungry yesterday, and I wasn't really hungry when we got done. I mean, I ate because I needed to, but I've not.
Well, you ate so much.
To what?
I was going to say, well, you ate so much during the race, but you didn't. You didn't eat a lot of calories.
No, I probably only consumed what we'd say like 5,000, maybe.
At best.
Yeah. So I do expect that I'd be hungrier.
About 130 calories an hour.
Yeah. I mean.
Which is probably, it was fine. It worked. Whatever. You got done.
I got it
Listen,
done.
Tell
me your thoughts.
I'm proud of you. I've not seen anything be this hard for you to do. And where you've had to work this hard and be this miserable. And people ask, I was like, she's going to have a real miserable day tomorrow. Like, she just is. And there's no way, like, there's no point in saying that you're not.
Yeah.
Like, and have false expectations and So I think that's part of it, as I just got around that you were going to be miserable. And it was going to take a little while, and that was just what it is. But you kept on moving. Listen, I didn't have the will to be that miserable. And I don't know that I have the will to be that miserable and keep moving. I don't know that I want to find out if I have that much grit and determination, because I've seen you do some dumb things. I've seen you do some really hard things. And I think you've done harder things than running Georgia Jewel 100. But nothing that you've done that's hard has been this hard for you.
Yeah.
That this race was. And you're tough.
Thanks, baby. That does mean a lot. One of the things I thought about a lot and I clung to a lot when I was out there, just watching everything my dad's gone through this year with how much pain he's been in and hardly being able to walk and do stuff, and just him even being able to get around Walmart to be able to go grocery shopping has been a huge improvement, you know? And I thought to myself a lot out there, like, you chose this. Like, you chose this, and you need to do this while you can do this, because there's going to come a hard and a pain one day that you don't have a choice in.
The hardest things in life are the things you don't sign up for.
Yes.
And I'll always lean back on that. But what's next for you?
Beast of the East is next. I may do something in between. It's like a longer run. I think just thinking about maybe doing Tunnel Hill 50 because it's a really pretty course. It's not the type of running that I need to do, but I want to go do it. And I enjoyed it when I was out there, and it's close enough. It's not like a whole bunch of logistics for us. So looking forward to that. One of the things Jenny said after the race, because I was like, couch 100 miler, I do not recommend. But she was like, yeah, but she said something along the lines of, you made a decision, you knew it was going to be hard. And she was like, and you stuck with it, even when it got hard and you didn't want to do it. And when you didn't want to do it anymore, you still just kept moving. And that was, it's something I've thought about a lot, is I want to be someone that you can count on to get it done. If I say I'm going to do it, I want you to know I'm going to do it, barring a medical issue or something like that. That's something I strive for, is I want you to be able to count on me.
Yeah, I think that's what we all want.
Yeah.
We can count on you. That's for sure. You got anything else?
No. That's what I got.
All right. Listen, hey, we appreciate everybody coming back, following along the Ultra Crude podcast. You know, do the things podcasts do. We'll be back next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. We'll find something to do.
All right.
See y'all.
See ya.